Satsangat astrologer. I'm back with another lunation. This time is the Virgo new moon happening on September 17, 2020. Welcome everybody. And I will explain in this video very summarily the Virgo new moon chart. And I wrote a very detailed report on this Virgo new moon in my blog spot. So I suggest that you visit there and you read all the, I detail all the aspects and everything in detail there. So this time I will do a summary and I will go through all the rising signs one by one to explain what the meaning of this new moon is for you. So if you don't know what your rising sign is, you can go to astro.com or astrowin.org and you can cast your natal chart there and discover what your rising sign is. It always depends on the time of your birth. People not always have the time. So if you don't, then you can do it by sun sign. It's not exactly the same because the rising sign determines your world, your environment where you were born. It is different from the sun sign. And you can even do it for the moon sign, which would be better even than the sun sign. Okay, without any more, I will encourage you then to go to my blog and read the report. It's here in this. And I encourage you to also follow me daily in Instagram, Facebook, MeWe, and also on my, I post under the discussion label in my YouTube channel every day. So I encourage you also to donate if you are so inclined. And please share, make a comment, or you can give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I will then show you the chart and I will start my report. Let me see. Yeah, I am recording very well. So, as I explained, the new moon in Virgo is here, happening in at 25 degrees 1 minute of Virgo, and it is exactly trine Saturn in Capricorn here. That it, by the way, is together with the Characlo here. At the same time, Mars and Aries are in square with the Capricorn team there. This is a very cardinal chart, which means that it has a lot of energy in cardinal signs, and this means change, right? There is a few mutable energy also in Virgo, for example, and Pisces, but it's mainly a chart of change. And it's also a chart, very creative power potential in this chart, because we have 9 points of planets in Earth sign. And Earth signs are very creative and they give form to reality, so we can use that kind of energy to create our reality. And it also has fire, 5 points of fire, which gives us the inspiration and the get going, you know, in order to do the things that we want to create. So the new moon in Virgo will be at 6 in the morning here in Texas. You can calculate what your time would be for your location if you go to timeanddate.org, I think, or .com, where you can convert the time. So Virgo is a sign of healing. It's a sign of, it's very earthy, is a sign of organization, of planning, and discernment and separating what is good from what is not good anymore. So it is the sign of transition, where in evolutionary astrology, we have the possibility to do adjustments, right? Because it's in conjunct the ascendant. So we are doing adjustments in order to progress to the sign of Libra, where we will have relationships. So here, Virgo, in between Leo and Libra, we are coming from me first to us, to sharing and having equitable balance between you and me, right? So that's why Virgo is a sign where there are conflicts to clear and problems to resolve, imbalances to take care of. So Virgo is the sign where we use discernment in order to repair things, fix things. Virgo people are always fixing and repairing things. And also taking things apart and put them back together in order to do it, in order to have it better and to have it almost perfect. But for Virgo, nothing is ever perfect. So Virgo are always finding that detail that makes it even perfecter. So this is a new moon to start something that we can fix. It's a project of starting a creation in order to then find balance in a situation, circumstances, or something in your life that needs to be rebalanced, that needs to be repaired, right? In general, that's why Virgo relates to health and healing, because it is the sign where we lose our health and then we go for a healing and we find a treatment, for example. So I will go through every sign, rising sign. See, I have Aries here as a rising sign. So for Aries, and I will talk, let me tell you, I will talk about the new moon as a new start in your life. It could be small or big, it doesn't matter, but it's a new beginning, right? And usually the advice is to start the new project or the new thing that you are doing a couple of days after, even 24 to 48 hours after the new moon, when the moon starts to show the light in the night sky. and because that is when you really are putting things out in the open. So, and I will also talk about the influence of Saturn as a trine to the new moon, right? Because it is exact by about 25 minutes of difference in degrees. And I will also talk about the influence of Neptune in it. But there are so many aspects that this new moon is making, including a square to the nodes of the moon. Here is the south node of the moon in Sagittarius and the north node of the moon in Gemini. So we have kind of an oscillation between the past and the future, what was established before and what is we're supposed to do going forward. I talked about this, I wrote about this in my blog, so I won't touch it in this report, but I refer you to reading my blog in order to learn more about that. So I will talk then about the Virgo position, the Capricorn position here, including Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and the Neptune influence. So for Aries, Aries rising. So this new moon is literally a new start in work, health, healthcare, maybe health therapy, physical therapy, and also in the way you work and the place of work. So something new is starting there, and if you have a pet, it could be something new about your pet, or maybe you're getting a new pet. And it's also a new start regarding the solution of any imbalance that you are going through. The Virgo position here is also in the health area, which is the sixth house. Also relates to self-undoing or self-sabotaging. So something, you can set a goal, for example, to stop an addiction or to change your diet, etc. And it's well supported by the very solid influence of Saturn, and also the transformation of Pluto. And this is in your 10th house. And so here, this triple conjunction here is promoting extreme ambition of on your part, maybe generates power struggles with your in your professional life or public life, or in if you work in a corporation or the company where you work, there could be some kind of manipulation in those areas, and some hidden intrigues, hidden secrets that are being stirred up, and transformed and restructured. There could be a restructuring of the company where you work that you probably are not aware of. In some cases, it could go as bad as your having your public or professional reputation in danger because of Pluto here. So, but in general, you have been obsessively concerned about your career and how to improve your performance, your professional performance. And also you may have had contact with very powerful people, influential people, involved in financial dealings, and sometimes also involved in the hierarchy of your company. It might mean that your new start is, for example, the place where you work because you are being promoted. Your position is transformed into something else and restructured. Maybe you have a promotion because there is something bigger than you can, a project that is that you are very knowledgeable and experienced about, and they put you there. In general, then your public life and professional life is being completely transformed. And this may include your civil status, because some people can get married or can get divorced because of this profound dismantling and restructuring of your public reputation. It could be that you are divorcing, right? And that will change also your daily schedules, for example. Or it can have a good influence on your health. Okay, so Neptune here will make you very spiritual, and sometimes it can give you the need to escape and to seek relaxation a lot, because Neptune, you can have a very profound dreams while sleeping. And in general, this need for relaxation, because this new moon can ask for a lot of energy of on your part. So let me change to the next sign, and so I'll put Taurus on the rising. And so here you see the chart for Taurus rising. And so we have the new moon in the 5th house. And the 5th house is about your creative expression. That may include any creative activity like arts, performance. You can be, for example, a dancer or someone who performs on stage, or it could be also your physical creation that includes your children. So it will be a new beginning regarding those subjects, any creative project that you are doing. And let me see my notes here for the 9th house will be Capricorn in the 9th house. And that will be an increased interest in metaphysics and ideologies, and your vision of the world is being transformed by those ideologies that you have been coming in contact for a few years already. In fact, the process of transformation of your beliefs and your belief system has started in 2008 when Pluto entered Capricorn. For you, Taurus, you have been going through a profound transformation and restructuring of your belief system and how you see the world at large, right? It is also your transformation of your inner reality, your desire to, for example, reform things that relate to culture, right? You have this desire to destroy and restructure cultural things, cultural themes, and as well as you may be concerned with the reformation of educational system, for example. And also, for example, here with Jupiter running direct right now, you may receive financial support for to go on and do higher education. You may have profound and transformative experiences through long distance travel. I know these days people don't travel long distance as much, but you can also long distance travel by reading, for example, and studying. You can study other cultures, other philosophies, for example, and you can travel in spiritually to learn other cultures or other religions, maybe. So in this case, Neptune is in your 11th house, or the area of your earnings from your professional life and the company where you work, and they could be dissolved. They could be confused. For example, the money that you receive from that company could be confusing, not always constant. It could be also that the groups where you belong, friends or groups for a common cause, for example, is very spiritual and charitable. It may be that this new start really for you is a creative project related to charity, for example. Okay, let's go to the next sign, which is Gemini. And you see it here on the ascendant. And the new moon happens in your 4th house, which is the most intimate area of your life, where you, as your very deeply emotional life, it includes family members, it includes your home, right? Is the place where you are most recluse, I would say, meaning that is the place where you feel safe, where you feel that you have a shelter. It's also the emotional nutrition that you receive from your family. So it is that emotional foundation that gives you health, right? Because of Virgo. And there could be a new start. It may be as simple as moving homes, houses, or it could be a new addition to the family. It could be something new in the family environment or in your house where you live. And it is supported by Saturn and also Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn, right? In the 8th house. So in the 8th house, Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter have been transmuting, transforming, and giving new shape and new form to the reality that you have in your deep psyche, right? It is the psychological house or area of your life where something has been deconstructed in that area, and you are deeply transforming your psyche and your psychological. Sometimes it is healing of your psychological traumas, and it could have been also the dismantling or the destruction of your traumas and also sexual problems. It could have been a transmutation of your sexual life. And also, it could have been, this is a very powerful influence for, especially for the 8th house, which is already intense and powerful, because you might have been focused for several years now in mastering hidden energies. For example, psychic abilities, or the power to read past lives, or also astral travel, if you know what that is. And also this, you have been developing and restructuring the reality of a spiritual experience, right? 9th house, for example, is the belief system. But the belief system is developed after we have gone through this powerful experience, spiritual experience. And oftentimes it takes to die and be reborn in order to develop those belief systems, right? So all this powerful transformation is supporting this new beginning in your 4th house. And these are also the natural water houses. So this for you could be very emotional, very highly emotional new moon. It's also opposed, the new moon is opposed by Neptune in your 10th house, or the public area of your life. So by now, your, for example, your professional life can be in limbo. It's probably the fact that maybe your company, you don't know if your company will keep you, or it could be that you are to have faith in the company for where you work, that you need to trust them in whatever they are doing. It could also be that your professional life is focused on charity, and that you choose to have, for example, a new beginning, emotional beginning here in order to serve other people without profit. Okay, that's all for you. We're going to Cancer rising, right? The mothers of the zodiac. So this new moon is a new start in your 3rd house, or the house of your thinking, your mind, your communication, the way you express yourself verbally in written form, and also the way you learn. So it could be that you start learning a new skill, for example, and that is also a healing for you. You start, for example, learning something about health, right? Because Virgo is health. So maybe you learn new information about health, or you are very interested in writing about it, or communicating about health. So this could be something new that you are doing. And it's very well supported by the area representing your partner, right? This relationship that you have long-term with an agreement, right? It could be your spouse, your significant other, or it could be a person, a business partner with whom you are building something. You have an agreement to work together. So as I said, it's very well supported here. And in that area, partnerships for you have been under demolition and building, right, for several years now. And now that Jupiter goes direct, is helping you or helping your partner go forward, right? And the influence of Neptune in your 9th house, it could be that as at the same time you are learning something about health here with the new moon, you are using that in order to build or add something to your belief system, right? It could be something that you use, new skills that you use in order to serve other people in for charity. It could be that you learn new skills in order to give, you know, something to the community in general, to the collective, without being paid. Okay, so that was for Cancer rising. Now we will go to Leo. So here, Leos, you have the new beginning in the area of your resources, possessions, and finances, and also your values. You are starting something new regarding your bank account, for example, or how you make money, right? It could also mean a new start regarding your family lineage. For example, some people are interested in genealogy and ancestry. So you may have a new project to learn about your ancestors for healing purposes, right? And here, this is opposing Neptune in the 8th house. It could be very transformational, and it could give you the opportunity to merge with your ancestors, right? Their influence to develop a more a tight relationship with your dead, with people who are beyond the veil. So this is very powerful because it could be very transformational for you, for the faith that you have. And also it could help you, for example, it could help you develop psychic abilities. It could help you develop the ability to see through the veil and be in contact with your ancestors in some way. So it's very well supported by the triple conjunction here in Capricorn in your 6th house. So it may mean that you are making more money. For example, you start new earnings here because your work in the place of work or the way you work is transformed and restructured. And also your schedule, your daily routines can be transformed and restructured there. And with Jupiter direct now, we're going forward, and you are setting new schedule, a new, for example, a new daily routines, right? So depending on the natal chart of yours, Pluto, since 2008, has been transforming your health, your daily routines, and how you take care of your body here in the 6th house. And with Jupiter and Saturn, you have been restructuring those So it could be that you're getting rid of addictions, you're getting rid of self-undoing or self-sabotaging here, because Jupiter is helping you to go ahead and heal. So this can help you really increase your income, but also it's affecting your value, your self-worth, your self-esteem, right? If you are overcoming, for example, an addiction, then you will feel a lot better about yourself. And this new moon really is supporting your self-value and the what you think about yourself. It's an opportunity for you to start anew and feel better about yourself. And that's all for Leo. Let's go to Virgo rising, and this new moon is just you. You start a new beginning for in your life, and since this is in your first house, it will affect all areas of your life, because this is it could be close to your ascendant, right? And it will oppose your descendant, and it will square your the midheaven and the IC or bottom of the sky. So what happens with you have a new moon in your ascendant, everything in your life can start anew. So whatever you decide to get started here will affect your professional life, your public status, your civil status. It could also affect your emotional foundation, your family life, the house where you live, and it could also relate to your partner, right? Your partner, if you have a partner, it will be, he or she will be affected by your decisions to start something. So this is very well supported by, let me see. This is very well supported by Saturn in the 5th house. So your new beginning may be related to your romantic life, or it could be related, you may find a new partner, right? A romantic partner or interest. And it could also be related to your children, right? That you make a decision to start something that involves your children. And let's see. So Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter are have been working through your 5th house, which is your creativity, the creative expression that you have. And it could be your children, but it could be also your projects, your creativity, like performance, right? It could be that you are on stage for maybe theater or dancing or something creative, and you are performing. So that's another aspect of creativity. So that area of your life, your creativity, has been completely demolished and transformed and restructured completely since a few years ago. In fact, Pluto started this remodeling in 2008, and Saturn has been there beginning 2018, I think, and end of 17, I think. So this process may have intensified your sex drive or your sex appeal, right, to attract romantic interests. And also, it may be your personal expression may be very drastically changed in a way that you are really engaged and invested in enjoyment, right? And well, even though Saturn restricts a little bit, while retrograde, it really makes you more have more freedom to not follow the restrictions, and so it could be also that that area of your life, in that area of your life, you have become more manipulative because of Pluto. But now with Jupiter going forward, it's more of a optimistic and get going energy. So it is helping the support of Saturn. And the opposition to Neptune, Neptune in the 7th house, it's really making your relationships with others a little bit confusing. And you may, for example, have gone out of balance there, and sometimes giving too much, suffering too much, tolerating too much, enabling too much. And also having, for example, the most positive influence of Neptune in the 7th house is having a person who is your partner that is very charitable, that is very generous, that is very spiritual, right? Sometimes that's hard to find. So what happens is that this new beginning will also affect your partner. For example, let's say your romantic life has been completely dismantled and restructured, right? And you now, with this new moon, are making a new decision about your relationships. So that will affect your partner negatively. For example, if that partner is addictive, and you cannot handle this relationship anymore, so your decision may cause that your partner fades away. It maybe moves away, or you are with your decision, you're leaving that partner behind. So, and also your public image will be changed because of your decision. As I said, your emotional foundation will change, your professional life. Maybe you decide that you are going to become something different, right? So that's all for Virgo, and we're going to now talk about rising Libra, right? So the new moon is in your 12th house, an area that is behind you, that you really are not so aware or conscious about what's going on. It also relates to the past life baggage, you know, or family inheritance in a psychological way. Or it also talks about past lives of yours. So there could be some new beginning that you are not really aware of that has to do with your subconscious, that something starts unconsciously or subconsciously, that you are that will influence who you are. And it could also be a new start in you deciding to relax more, or it could be a new start in your health, your mental health, your spiritual well-being. Um, it it could also mean that you decide to go on a retreat, for example, to replenish yourself spiritually. And it's very is opposed to the sixth house, Neptune. And Neptune in the sixth house is completely dissolving your daily routines. For example, it's dissolving anything that has to do with physical health or fitness. For example, Neptune may have Neptune stays there for 13 years. So it's a long process that you may not even be very conscious about. Outer planets usually influence us in a very subtle way because they're so far away that we may not become conscious unless we really pay attention, right? But something in Neptune makes you also vulnerable. Your health may be more vulnerable. So it may mean that this opposition to Neptune is really you having to make a decision about going and start a treatment, for example, a health treatment that could be physical, could be about your mental health, as I said. But in any case, it is opposing your daily routines, your schedules, and your daily life. It could also affect your pets if you have one. But it's very well supported by your family members, your emotional foundation. So this new beginning in Virgo is really well supported by the transformation that is going on in your family life. And it's been happening since 2008. So your family life may have suffered a complete overhaul, dismantling and regeneration, restructuring your family life or your house or your home life, and your also your family relationships with your family members. So it could be that also since Pluto and Jupiter are sometimes related to wealth and prosperity, it could be that your family finances are under reconstruction as well. So, and that is for Libra. And let's go to Scorpio. So if you are Scorpio rising, let me get a drink of water. Then the new beginning is related to the earnings that you have from the company you work for, or the earnings that you have from your civil status. For example, if you are married, then there is a new beginning on the earnings that you have from that marriage. And also, if you have friends, it could be a new beginning in the group of friends that you have. So, and it's because you have, this is well supported by the Capricorn team here, which is transforming your environment, the neighborhood where you live. Either the neighborhood has been transformed and reconstructed or restructured, or you have changed neighborhoods. You're going to another neighborhood, and you are relating to other people. It could also mean that your siblings have gone through such a powerful transformation. And this is very supportive of this new beginning that relates to groups of people you belong for a cause, a common cause, usually humanitarian. And in this case, because it's Virgo, it could be related to healthcare or health. For example, it could be a group of people who gather for to heal something, like those support groups, right? That help you heal addictions, or I don't know, single mothers, divorced people, and people who gather together to heal from some imbalance. As I explained at the beginning, Virgo is, ooh, my light is going off. The light burned. I burned the light. Anyways, I'm gonna light this other one. Let's see if it helps a little bit. I was smelling something burned, and okay, it was the light bulb. Anyways, that was Scorpio. Maybe it's an omen. Anyways, so this new beginning is related to your groups of friends, for example. Or it is well supported, as I said, by siblings or the environment, or also you may use the skills that you know and that you have been learning and transforming for the past few years, and you are applying those skills in order to start a new, for example, in a group, or you start a group, a healing group or something like that, using your skills. Or together with your siblings, for example, you gathered together, you said, I'm going to start this new project and this new group for healing, or for a humanitarian cause, common cause. And this is, the new moon is opposing Neptune in Pisces, and it is in your romantic life, children, and but in general, your creative expression. So you may be using your creativity in order to get started this group or project with your friends. And in general, this creativity for you will be related to arts, fine arts, for example. It could be related to charity, and very inspirational, very spiritual, right? Giving, creating something for the benefit of the whole collective. Okay, that's all for Scorpio. Let's go to Sagittarius now. And now you'll see Sagittarius here on the ascendant. So this new beginning may be in your public life, your professional life, or civil status. Maybe you get married, or you get divorced, or you just graduate from some professional preparation, a degree, right? And you start your new professional life. It can also be that you start a new job in a new company, and it's very well supported by your resources here. Your earnings and your possessions, your financial resources have been transformed and restructured for the last several years, starting in 2008. And now with Jupiter direct, prosperity may have moved ahead, right? And something may be moving in a positive way for you in your finances. So this new start in your professional life may really little by little give you a financial solvency, right? And Saturn always works with time and effort and hard work. So it may mean that you will work very hard in order to make that money that you need. So the transformation of your values and also it is this new beginning may mean that it feeds your self-esteem and increases your self-worth, and you think a little higher of yourself. The new moon is opposing Neptune in the 4th house. So what this means is that you may need to move houses and leave the place of residence behind in order to go somewhere else because you have a new job, for example, now. Or if you got married, you may be changing your place of residence to go and live with your partner somewhere else. And it may also mean if you're divorcing, for example, and you're changing as well your civil status, it may mean that Neptune in the 4th house is dissolving your family. It is disintegrating your family. So it has many meanings. Planets and energies, depending on how we use them and the decisions that we make, may have a positive or negative effect or implementation of the energy. So that is for Sagittarius. And now we'll go to Capricorn rising. So if you're Capricorn rising, then the new moon will be in the area of your belief system and the vision that you have of the world, and also your future projects. For example, you may decide to begin attending a new church, or initiate learning or investigating a new religion or a new spiritual practice, or you may decide to learn about other cultures, or you may start higher education, going to college, for example, or postgraduate degree, and your vision in any case, this is a new start about broadening your vision of the world, and it may entail healthcare. So because it's Virgo, so it may mean that you go on to college to study something a health care related career, profession. So it is opposing your third house of manual skills. So, and also the environment where you live, or your siblings, or it could be your the dissolution of your ideas, your practical ideas. It may mean that in order to access higher knowledge, you need to leave behind the very detailed way of thinking. Although Pisces in the third house maybe details about spiritual life, right? Because it's so spiritual and so all-encompassing. But the new moon, the new start, is very well supported by the Capricorn team or stellium there. So the influence of Pluto for several years now, 12 years already, it's been kind of dissolving or dismantling the identity that you thought you had. And it's a very deeply psychological surgery that Pluto has been doing on you, right? But later on, about more than 2 years ago, here came Saturn, bringing new structures to your personality. So you are now more self-aware of your psychic configuration, personality, and you have been under an intensive self-improvement treatment, and that has been very, very intense. I bet that you probably don't even recognize now who you are compared to who you were in 2008, right? It's been a total overhaul of your personality. So this new beginning in the Virgo sign for you, you really welcome it, because as you have been transformed yourself, then now it's an opportunity to start with new belief systems, with new cultural awareness, right? That is supporting your life in general. And that's all for Capricorn. And now I will go to Aquarius. So for Aquarius, this new beginning is in your 8th house. And this is really powerful healing and transmutational new beginning, right? It is it goes very deeply into your psyche. You're probably having a new start regarding your psychic abilities and your psychological issues. You may start a process that takes a month, right? The moon cycle lasts for a month, but also it may take 6 months until the full moon in Virgo in 6 months. So this, and I bet it will probably take this 6 months, because the 8th house is a house of deep transformation and deep deep psychological awareness, right? And it could be also um, related to your sexual life, especially if you have a partner. It may be a new beginning in intimacy, that you are, that something clicks, and there is a change there in your intimacy, how you relate to your partner sexually, but also um, this merging of two souls, right? It could be a new beginning, very significant new beginning for you, because it's in Virgo. It has a very healing connotation, as usually it is for you. Your intimacy life, your sexual life is very healing for you. And it could be a source of imbalances as well. As I explained at the beginning of the video, Virgo is that transitional stage where we experience imbalances in order to prepare us to hold more equitable relationships. So this new beginning may be healing for you if you decide to so. It is opposing Neptune in the second house. So what happens here is that there is a new start that puts in doubt, or it is confronting what you think of yourself. It's confronting your self-value, and how you value yourself and your self-worth. So it may be very interesting healing for you and intimately, because now it's like with Neptune transiting your second house, you have been confused about what is your value for other people, you know, and even it could be that your sexual orientation or your gender identity has been under doubt or insecurity, that you really don't know how you identify yourself. And now with this new moon in Virgo, maybe you decide one way or another. But Neptune is not only confusion and doubt and sometimes deception, but it's also very spiritual. It's like you think of yourself as a very spiritual person, and your values are very spiritual. It's not, you're not attracted to material things too much, even though you may have them, but it's always because they have a meaning. It's always because you can help someone else with them. So you're not attached to material possessions just because you want to have them, but it's more because of what you can do to help others with those possessions. So as I said, your self-value has gone through almost 10 years of re-questioning, maybe not so sure, and now here with this new moon, you start something related to your psychology is changing, and it's opposing these doubts and maybe confusions. So in any case, this new beginning is well supported by your unconscious transformations that you have been going through since 2008. Pluto in your 12th house has been transforming everything that has to do with your family inheritance, psychologically. You know, we are, and then also these family conditionings that we inherit, and we really don't know what they are. Sometimes the great grandfather, for example, had a trauma, right? And that person transmitted that trauma unconsciously to their offsprings, and so on and so forth. And subconsciously, you have that trauma. You don't know you have it, but it's imprinted in your unconscious. So what Pluto has done, and now Saturn since the last 2 years, have been restructuring those conditionings from past lives, and also the unconscious and subconscious of your personality. So you probably have been undergoing very profound transmutations, psychological transmutations. So this new moon may be very significant in your life, as I said. So one good thing is that Jupiter in this chart is direct. So it's now prosperity and good things and optimism is infusing your house of relaxation and your subconscious house. You may feel a little better about that. So now I'm done with Aquarius. I will go to Pisces. And for you, the new moon is in your 7th house of relationships, especially those committed relationships or people with whom you have an agreement of some kind. So in this, as I said, is a very healing new start. So you decide to start something new with your partner, or maybe you start a new partnership with someone where you make an agreement and you start something new that is very healing for you. And it's opposing Neptune in your 1st house, which it is, this new start is confronting your confusion about who you are, or maybe not only confusions, but misinterpretations that you may have. Or it'd be confronting your oh, there are so many aspects. It's difficult to choose one, but let's see. Neptune in your 1st house has been giving you a more spiritual approach to life, and also an attitude of letting go and give in to the higher powers, right? You may have the feeling that now you are in God's hands, or you let go, and if you don't believe in God, it could be okay, nature will take care of me, right? But now with this new start, it might mean that now you rebalance those two different aspects, this very spiritual to more earthy, more grounded union with someone else or agreement with someone else. And this is very well supported by the energy of Capricorn in the area of your social life, that has been transformed for the last 12 years, and lately reconstruct by Saturn going through for the last couple of years. And now Jupiter is direct, so you feel more optimistic about friendships, about the groups that you belong to. So it's very well supported by your friends. So maybe you find a new partner and your friends agree with it and support you, right? So, and as I said, this is all for the interpretation of every rising sign. If you would like to know more details about the new moon chart, which not only has that opposition to Neptune and the trine to Saturn, it really has other components in it. And I wrote a whole article in my blog, Satsangat Astrology, blogspot.com, where you can read all the details about it. And for now, I wish you the best. If you like this, please give me the thumbs up and comment or share this video with your friends, family members. So I wish you the best, and keep in touch. Tell me in the comments below how you're doing and what happens for you. And I'll see you next month. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.